Welcome to Season 6 of Business Mentorship, Keepin It Real, introducing corporate leaders who have taken the leap to business owner, introducing their great idea and our guest blog, found on shareyourstories.online. Our guest joins us from Hamilton, Ontario. Shannon has become known as the sustainable stylist, embracing a concept that echoes beyond the mirror, helping us rediscover our wardrobe and boost confidence through fashion. Shannon joins us today to talk about how she's able to create stunning, fresh looks from the clothes you already own, breathing new life into your style. It is my pleasure to introduce and welcome Shannon.
Hey, thank you. Yes, so that's what I do. I go into people's closets and I show them how to wear and pair more of their clothes, because generally people only wear about 20% of their wardrobe. And going into their closet, usually people are like, I have nothing to wear, as
That's right.
all of their clothes, because it can be very overwhelming. And then that's why people generally tend to go for the same pieces, because they know that they work and they are comfortable. So I kind of reconfigure, redefine, refresh your wardrobe, and then I create a digital lookbook with that as well, and or virtual closet, whatever is easier for you to kind of understand. So you have all of your individual items from your closet in a separate category, and then there's the outfit category that is right at your fingertips. So if you have, let's say you have an event and you're like, I have no idea what to wear, you know, your room is a mess, everything, clothes are everywhere, you just open it up and it's right at your fingertips and you're like, okay, this is what I'm wearing. Perfect.
I've got a plan now. I have a plan.
Yes.
So what I love about your business, though, is that it's sustainable, really sustainable fashion. So you're not necessarily advocating for everybody to pitch everything out and start all over again, or to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe. You're kind of saying, look, you've got a whole bunch of really great pieces in there. Maybe we just need to put them together a little bit differently so that you have more confidence in what you're going to put on every day.
Yes. And then if people, so I do have clients that I go shopping with.
Right.
So, you know, I'll do the closet edit and then they need a few like missing pieces. So we'll go shopping. And usually when I go shopping, I try to do it sustainably as well. So if I'm going shopping for them, it doesn't really matter where I'm going. Like I can go to like Toulouse, Value Village. But if I'm bringing them with me, generally I like to go to Style Encore, which is a sister store to Plato's Closet and Once Upon a Child, because they have really great pricing. They have a lot of different sizes and styles and brands, and their price points are really good. So it's not going to break the bank when we're going out to go shopping. And then we're still keeping it the sustainable aspect of it. And then any of the pieces that are purchased get incorporated into your virtual closet.
Sure. Now, in terms of, you know, we all have way too many clothes. I mean, let's face it, we live in a consumer society, and sometimes we buy things because we think, oh, wow, that looks great. And then we get it home and it goes to the back of the closet. And sometimes we even forget that we have it.
Yes.
So I love the closet edit, because I think we've all got, you know, somebody had said to me, the most amazing thing that's happening now in the world of fashion is this whole idea of having a capsule wardrobe.
Yes.
So maybe you can give our viewing and listening audience what's the definition of a capsule wardrobe, and what does that mean?
So everybody, you know, people kind of like do like a Pinterest board and they want this look. But to me, a capsule wardrobe is pieces that have really good wear, really good longevity, pieces that aren't going to date in, you know, 2 years, where you're going to pull it out of your closet and you can still create outfits with it and it still looks fresh and up to date. Right. I don't really do fast fashion, and I don't really love buying pieces that you're going to wear only a couple times. I'm all about versatility, longevity, and quality. So obviously when you're buying secondhand, you know, there are some brands that are a little bit better quality than others.
Sure.
And you can, when I'm picking them out, like you can kind of tell by the fabrics and the condition that they're in, if they're going to last.
Hmm.
And it's all also how you're taking care of your clothes as well.
Sure.
Right. So, for example, like sweaters, not all sweaters are meant to go in the dryer. Um, so there's kind of like a little bit of calculation, I'll say, to taking care of your clothes so they last longer and to give you the look that you are wanting without going into fast fashion
Right.
and looking
So
like everybody else.
clearly the classics are, we all talk about classics and everybody's got, the little black dress, some white shirts, a pair of jeans, a blazer that we feel really great in.
Mhm.
But when you've got a client who comes to you and says, Shannon, I really need to update my look. I've changed it. I've turned the page on a new decade in my life. And I think that some of those clothes that I wore, a few years ago are no longer, maybe not age appropriate, but they don't represent how I feel anymore. So
Right.
how do you help that particular client who's sort of come to you and said, look, I've got this great wardrobe, but it's just not, I don't feel right anymore in these clothes.
So you, with that, I will go through every piece. And then we kind of like downsize their wardrobe. But usually there's still pieces in there that I can kind of incorporate into their current wardrobe.
Sure.
And if it's like, let's say they've gone from super corporate, now they're doing their own business that's like a home organization. So they're like on different spectrums of getting dressed.
For sure.
So there's still the like happy medium, I like to call it. So it's like not super corporate, not super casual. It's kind of the in between.
Right.
So I, again, like I'll take these pieces and say like, tell me about your lifestyle. How can I make this work for your current lifestyle? And then maybe there's a few pieces that we need to go out and source out to incorporate into your current wardrobe. But I feel like I would say pretty much all of my clients, there's always pieces that I can work with.
Sure.
Even if they're like, well, I haven't worn that in 5 years, but I really love it, but I just have no idea how to wear it. Or,
Right.
and one of my things is too, like you need to feel comfortable. And I feel like people have this like notion of, comfortable has to be like leggings and a sweatshirt or jogging pants. That has to be comfortable, but you can wear a lot of clothing that is comfortable that you still feel really good in.
Mhm.
And then coming out of COVID, I feel like people were still wearing a lot of like, I call it the mullet look. So they were getting dressed on the top and still wearing their pajama pants on the bottom. And I'm like, this
Right.
is not this is not benefiting anybody.
It's not the way to go out and grocery shop.
Yeah, I don't care if nobody can see you or if you're working from home. Getting dressed plays like a huge part in your psyche and how you
Mm.
feel, your productivity. Um, so yeah, sorry,
Let's
I'm
talk about that.
tangent a little bit, but
Yeah,
yeah,
let's talk about that for a little while because I really truly feel, see, I'm a mood dresser. So I get
okay.
up in the morning and depend on what it is I'm doing that day. That's really the clothes that I pull because I feel that they give me confidence and I might like the color and the style. But I think that the way that we wear our clothes really does give us the way that we show up in the world. It gives us that bit of confidence. It
Absolutely.
makes us either more gregarious, or we might even be more friendly and talk to people in it. We communicate differently. So do
Mhm.
you believe that the clothes that we wear is a direct relation
Yes,
to the way that we feel and how we interact?
yes. And I say, um, wear the clothes, not have the clothes wear you.
Oh, I love that.
So yeah, I do. Like, if let's say you're going out on a date, and you're like, oh, tonight, like I'm feeling a little bit like sassy and sexy. So that's gonna like emanate through you. Or
Sure.
you want to, like, you have like a really big meeting, you're gonna close a deal, you want to look professional, like all of these things, right, come into play. So that's another thing with the virtual lookbook is that I can also categorize your outfits. So let's say like you need outfits for work, you need outfits for play, we'll say,
Yeah.
or events, whatever it is, I can kind of categorize it for your individual needs.
So tell me, who is your ideal client? Because we all, the connectivity that you have just between two people obviously makes a difference in how successful we are in the products and services that we provide. So
Right.
tell me a little bit about who your ideal client would be. Is there an age group that you gravitate towards? Is it an age? Is it a lifestyle? Is it?
Yeah, I would say it's more characteristics as opposed
Okay.
to like, so some of my characteristics, so I have clients who love, love, love shopping and who shop all the time, and then they get home and then they have no idea how to put these clothes together. So then the clothes are just taking up real estate.
Sure.
And then I have clients who are on the complete other end of the spectrum who absolutely hate shopping. They'll like grab a t-shirt at Costco because it's convenient, or they'll do it in like 3 different colors, and then they'll get it home and then that is what they're wearing. So like the blue top goes with the brown jeans, they have their like outfit box.
Yeah.
So those are, I would say, 2 big characteristics of my clients. So I'll show them how to shop less impulsively and ask them questions kind of like, if this wasn't on sale, would you buy it? Are you going to wear this more than 2 times? Is this going to incorporate into your current wardrobe? And then people who really hate shopping, I find that it really overwhelms them.
Sure. And you can help them with that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I kind of help mainstream the shopping experience.
Sure.
So when we are going shopping, generally they're in the change room most of the time.
Right.
And I'm just kind of pulling pieces. And normally those pieces are pieces that they would not generally flock to. So I'm trying to just like push them gently a little bit out of their comfort zone, for lack of a better word.
Sure.
And just show them like you can wear these things.
Right. And how great you might feel, right?
Yeah. And usually those items become their favorite pieces. So
right. Now tell me a little bit about accessories, because I know when I first went out into the corporate world, I had like a basic suit because I couldn't really afford very much.
Right.
But what I did is I bought different accessories to elevate the look. So, it was the same white blouse, but it was a different scarf.
Right.
Or it was the same white blouse, but I had a necklace or something like that. So if you were listening, our viewing and listening audience was hearing us and they're going, oh my gosh, yeah, this just makes so much sense. Is there a tip that you could give them of one thing that they could do to go into their closet today, pick out 3 pieces, a top, a pair of pants, and maybe a sweater or a jacket, and how do they add a little pizzazz to that?
Yeah, so accessories are very individualized. So I would say, like you said, adding a necklace, adding a scarf, popping your collar, like that changes your look, adding a belt, tucking in your shirt. So just little things like that where and I have so many clients, just a side note, that are like, oh, I can't do the tuck. Like the 90s ruined it for me. I'm anti-tuck. And then as soon as they start tucking, they're like, oh, wow, this really like elevates my look. So yeah, just like, I would say even just a belt, even if you're like, I don't do accessories, not my thing, totally fair. Do a belt, try a belt. Try a different pair of shoes, try popping the collar, like I said. So yeah, you don't have to be all like gussied up, because I think that's what people think. Like there's no happy medium. Like you're either super casual or you're like
super dressy. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, so I try to find that happy medium for people and say, like, you can still look good every day, even if you're just like running errands, you're not working.
Sure.
You can still look good and feel good.
I love how you marry the clothes with the emotional, aspect of wearing the clothes, and then the image that we project when we're out in the world. So, because I think those 3 components are really important. And I think sometimes we forget what we pull out of the closet makes us feel a certain way, and then also makes us show up when we, walk outside the door in a different way as well. So I kind of love how you've taken all of those 3 different aspects, because it's not just clothes.
No.
We're people too, and they're kind of like the armor that we wear in order to project a certain feeling, depending on where it is that we're going. So I think
Yes.
you've given our viewing and listening audience some really great things to think about. Now, one of the things that we do in the guest blog is we ask folks to share 3 words of advice. And perhaps you can wrap up our conversation today by giving us a little bit of explanation into your 3 words, which makes sense. It says, feel your best.
Feel your best. Yes. So it's basically everything we just covered. So getting dressed, dressing with a purpose, is huge. And, it's always the days that you're feeling crummy, or your engine's not really starting. Those are the days that I challenge you to get dressed with a purpose. Even if you're putting on some lipstick, like whatever it is, find your thing that you're like, gosh, this makes me feel so good. Do that one thing, because I will tell you, it will like take you from like meh to like, okay, I got
Amazing.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I know that our viewing and listening audience is going to get a little tidbit of something. And I especially love how we sort of covered 3 different aspects, because it's not just clothes. So thank you so much for joining us, Shannon.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. To you, our viewing and listening audience, I'd like to thank you for joining us today for this edition of Keeping It Real, introducing you to the person behind the logo. If you'd like to connect with our guest, you'll find Shannon's contact information in the description portion below. I'm Trish Tonai, author, artist, and the founder and host for the series, and we invite you to share your business story. Just visit our website, shareyourstories.online, and subscribe to our channel, Business Mentorship, Keeping It Real. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to meeting you next time when we share another great idea.